Hey guys, Sean here. Welcome to the F1 Word and to a video I didn't think I'd be making this week, but there have been some big developments at Williams, and so I wanted to get a few things off my chest and I guess have my say on it all. The news that came from the team on Wednesday was that with immediate effect, Paddy Lowe, quote, has taken a leave of absence from the business for personal reasons. And there are some reports floating around that leave will be made permanent soon, so it looks as though it's the end of the road for Lowe at Williams. Look, it's really not that much of a surprise. A new car, which the team apparently began work on pretty early in 2018, wasn't even ready for pre-season testing and didn't arrive in Barcelona until the morning of the third day of the first test. And then, of course, when it did eventually get out on track, it was slow. And alright, mileage and pace picked up in the second week, but it was still well off the pace. And we're not talking a few tenths. So it's right that Lowe takes a big slice of the blame there. Ultimately, he is responsible for the development of that car. However, he should not be the only one getting the blame. All the fingers at Williams appear to be pointed at him, but that is absolutely ridiculous. Again, yes, he must take his share of the blame. I'm not denying that. But that team has been in decline for a while now, and he is not solely to blame. There needs to be wholesale changes, and they need to come quickly. For me, as I've said about team principals in the past, the buck stops with those at the top, the manager if you like. And that's where those changes need to start. I have generally tried to avoid falling into either camp when it comes to Claire Williams. In fact, during testing I did try, and I mean try, to defend her. My thinking was, is she just doing the best with what she has? Well, no. Alright, the team isn't the richest on the grid, but it's far from the worst off. In fact, despite the team's recent decline, I believe they are still set to be paid the 7th highest amount of prize money from F1. Yes, that money will include payouts from previous, more successful seasons, but still, the money is there to some extent. And when you look at what others do with a lesser budget, that whole money argument really doesn't wash when you really look at it. It does play a part, obviously, but that's not the main problem. Claire Williams is there to manage that team, and frankly, she isn't. She just isn't. Infighting, another slow car, struggling to land sponsors, and according to reports, the commercial side of the team have been interfering on the engineering side. So it's no wonder really that Paddy Lowe has struggled when it comes to building that car. Engineers need to be left to get on with it to some extent. That all comes down to management. I stand by what I said during testing. If it was Eric Boulier, Manisha Kaltenborn, anybody else in that position, I 100% believe they would have been axed a while ago. I think because of the family ties, Claire has been given more time than perhaps she should have been. And that's another issue with Williams. They are so stubborn. Whilst it's admirable that they want to preserve their heritage and are keen to keep their status as an independent constructor, Formula One has changed a lot and they have not kept up. Look at what the arrangement between Haas and Ferrari has done for that team. Okay, people don't like that they acquire so much from Ferrari, but it's catapulted them to the top end of the midfield despite having one of the smaller budgets on the grid. Is it time for Williams to look into that? I've been saying this for a while now, I think they should. If they can land a similar deal with Mercedes, it could help secure their long-term future and likely see them become competitive again in that midfield. And frankly, the way things are at the moment, I don't see Williams having a long-term future in Formula One. Something has got to change. Again though, that would mean a real departure from their philosophy, and I doubt that's going to happen anytime soon. Like I say, they're very stubborn on that. But back to Claire Williams, because I'm wandering off all over the place here. I really do think it's time for her to go. I don't think Paddy Lowe should have been the first to walk out of that door. I'm not saying I think he shouldn't have gone, but he shouldn't have been first to go. If the reports that he wasn't given the freedom he needed to develop that car are true, then his hands were tied. And again, that's a management issue. End of. I suppose the issue for Williams now is if Lowe's departure is made permanent, they need to find a replacement sharpish. We already know that 2019 will likely see a lot of development and they are already well behind everybody else. So Claire walking now would leave them needing to find a new boss as well. And let's face it, who wants to walk into that mess with their first job being, oh, by the way, can you find us a replacement for Paddy? Not many are going to fancy that. But I suppose playing devil's advocate who could come in to replace Claire, well, for me, I think Eric Boulier would be a good shout. Okay, he hasn't really achieved a huge amount in Formula One, but he did steer Lotus to wins and podiums in the past. Plus, without sounding too harsh, what has Claire Williams achieved in Formula One? Nothing, so for me, that argument is pretty much irrelevant. Other names I've seen thrown around include Bob Bell, Manisha Kaltenborn, and Maurizio Arriva-Bene, a former Ferrari team principal at the helm of Williams. That could be interesting. To round this off quickly, will she go? I doubt it, and perhaps I will be proved wrong on that in the coming days, but as I've already said, there is enough turmoil at that team, and although I do believe that they should find somebody to replace her, I don't think they will for a while at least. The last thing they need right now is another high-level departure before the last one has been sorted out. But I am really concerned for Williams' future. This is an absolute mess, and they can't carry on like this. That is it then for this video. As I said at the start, I wasn't really expecting to make this video today, and so this was just about some of my initial thoughts, if you like. So sorry if it was all over the place a little bit. But you can let me know what you think about everything going on at Williams in the comment section down below. Now, I will be back soon with more content as ever, and don't forget we will be live this Sunday at 6 p.m. UK time for a look ahead to the new season and the Australian Grand Prix. In the meantime, though, you can follow me over on social media. Links to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course to Discord are all in the description down below. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean, this has been the F1 Word, and until next time, goodbye.